All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Year 6 students. Okay. Today we'll be having our social studies session. So this will be more to oral reading and class discussion. I know this is the one of the first days of your school holidays, but still we are continuing studying and very determined to get high marks for PSR. Hopefully, 5 A's, inshallah. I'm always praying that. I always include in your you guys in my prayers. So let me start right away by sharing my screen. All right, for a while. Share. Okay, so let me just zoom that one out. Let me fix it for a while. Hold on. Okay. I wonder if you can see it, class. I hope you can see it. So I want you to take your textbooks and turn to page 36. Okay. Again, I want you to take your social studies textbooks and turn to page 36. All right. So let me start the lesson by reading the first paragraph, and then afterwards I'll be asking randomly students to ask the following paragraphs. All right? Okay, are you ready? Okay, good. Okay, I just want to make sure if you can see my screen. Afik, can you see my screen? Okay, good. I like how Afik is nodding, so he doesn't have to turn on his mic. He's nodding. It look like a little bit exaggerated, but it's really helpful. Okay. Okay. But don't do the Indian nod, okay? The Indian nod is like this. All right. All right. Okay. Bismillah. Okay. What is an indigenous ethnic group? An indigenous ethnic group is a group of people who have a common history, culture, language. They identify with each other because of a shared experience that has developed over hundreds of years. These experiences gives them a shared common identity and sense of belonging. Okay, let's see what this girl says. Indigenous ethnic people are those who have lived in a specific place from earliest times. Okay, so class, so basically, what is it trying to say here? Okay, simply that indigenous ethnic group are a group of people. Okay, are a group of people who has common history, culture, and language. Okay, so for example, let me give a quick example. For example, Philippine people from the south, Bruneians, Malaysians, Indonesians, right? Especially in the Sarawak Island, we share a lot of common. We share a lot of uh, culture, history, language, isn't it, class? Right? Malaysians can speak Malaysians, of course. Bruneians as well. Indonesian as well, the Bahasa Indonesia, and some part of the southern Philippines where I'm coming from. Uh, I speak I speak the dialect Tausug, and it's actually really similar to the Malay language. My mom is actually coming from Sulu, so if you remember your previous lesson in social studies in year 5, Holo Sulu, Sulu Island was part of the Bruneian Empire, right? Okay, so Philippines basically was part of the Malay Bruneian Empire. Okay, so of course, not all of these ethnic groups are the same. They also have differences, right? Okay, so moving on, uh, let's go to the next one. So I'm going to ask, I wonder who can read for me the next one. Anyone? Any volunteers? Okay, Shafika, you raised your hand. Okay. Now, We'll turn on your microphone. No, the 4.2. What are seven?
Okay.
Okay.
4.2. What are the seven indigenous groups in Brunei? Did you know that there are seven indigenous ethnic groups in Brunei?
All right. Okay. Let's read the next page as well. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the next page. Let me zoom that out. Okay, class. I'm actually holding a book, but I want to use this presentation. So, all right. Okay, can you read that?
Traditional settlements of the seven indigenous ethnic groups in Brunei.
Mm-hmm.
Study the map below. You will notice that the indigenous ethnic groups in Brunei were traditionally located at different places in the country. Today, this is no longer true because these groups are well mixed together as they have moved around due to education, employment, and government resettlement schemes.
All right. So, class. So basically, this paragraph. Thank you, Shafika. Okay. Thank you very much for reading it aloud in here. So, traditional settlements, okay, of seven indigenous ethnic groups in Brunei. So, class, basically, it means the seven indigenous groups, they have been mixed. Okay, how they have been mixed? Because they're living together. Once you live together, you study together, you eat together. Eventually, they are also getting married to each other, which is normal, right? Okay, so I'll give you an example, not in Brunei because I'm not from Brunei, but I'm from the south of the Philippines. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit the background of my family, my heritage. Actually, my great great grandma from my mother's side is coming from Spain, Spanish. Okay, so they're Europeans, and then after that, he my great great grandma, of course, they had children, and then my grandma got married with my grandpa with a mixed Indian blood, Philippine. So I have an Indian heritage. Okay, so I have Spanish, Indian, and then uh, from my my grandmother got married with a Malaysian Chinese, okay, coming from uh, Sandakan, coming from that part, coming from Sarawak. So my grandfather was a Chinese Malaysian businessman, so got married with my Indian Spanish mixed grandma. So yeah, so I have this Chinese, Indian, and Spanish. So I'm all of it. Okay. So I'm just giving you an example how we're getting mixed. Okay. So from my father's side has also Malaysian and Arab mix. What do you call this? Indigenous ethnic groups. So this is how an Indian, Chinese, Malaysian, Filipino, Spanish, Arab looks like. It looks like this. So I look like Rojak. Okay, understand? So the same also goes to Brunei. I think most of you, you're not aware of your ethnic groups. Okay, maybe because it has been long time ago. Maybe you got mixed with Chinese Bruneian, Dusun Bruneian, Kadayans, Tutongs, Muruts. But since we're living it together, it's not really a big thing. Okay, so let us look at the big picture here. I'm going to share it in a while. Okay, so we have here the map of Brunei. Class, this is very important, huh? You might be thinking, oh, social studies is not in PSR. Actually, it's included. You know where is it included? It's actually included in your English PSR because it's the language is in English. Okay, I will show you maybe on Monday where this social studies is included. Okay, so can I ask Amir? Okay, Amir, can you read the pictures here? Okay, can you see it on page 37?
the Kedayans, the Brunei Malays, the Muruts, the Visayas, the Belaits, the Dusuns, the Tutongs.
Okay, class. So these are the seven main ethnic groups of Brunei. I want you to remember this. This is very important. This is your history. Okay. So as you can see, the Kadayans mostly are in Brunei Muara. If you can see the map, the Brunei Malays. Okay. The Muruts usually coming from Tamburong. The Visayas also coming from Brunei Muara. And the Tutongs, of course, they're coming from Tutong. The Dusuns, they're between the border of Tutong and Belait. And the Belait, of course, are coming from Belait. Understood, class? So, anyone knows their heritage? Are you one of this ethnic group? I think most of you are either Kadayans or Brunei Malays, right? I think most of you. Anyone here has, like, for example, Dusun, Belaites, Visayas, Muruts. In the Philippines, we have also Visayas, okay? So we're pretty much similar. Okay, let's move on to the next page. I don't really want to do a storytelling here. I want to finish the pages as much as possible. All right, let's move on to page 38. Class, can you see it clearly? All right, okay. So let me try, let's give others chance. Okay, Nadra, I haven't heard Nadra's voice in a while. Nadra, I missed your voice. Come on. The seven indigenous ethnic groups.
The seven indigenous ethnic groups and some of their cultures and traditions.
Mhm,
A. The Brunei Malays. In the past, the Brunei Malays were settled mainly along the Brunei River and were excellent fishermen,
mhm,
sailors, and traders.
mhm.
The
Okay.
Brunei Malays used to have women traders peddling their boats and selling their goods around the water village. These women traders were called the Padian. The Brunei Malays are famous for their traditional clothes weaving. This traditional skill is passed down from one generation to the next. The design have also survived many centuries. The most well-known and famous in the Jongsarat. The culture. Although the Brunei Malays are ethnically related to Malays elsewhere and share the same Islamic religion, there are many cultural and language differences. Good manners and respect for elders is very important. They have respectful terms of address. For example, tua is used to address the elders uncle and auntie. Tanga
Mhm.
is used for middle uncles and aunties. Bongsu is used to address their youngest uncle or auntie.
Okay, thank you very much for the very nice reading. You see, Nadra has a very nice voice, okay, in reading. Also fast. Okay. Now, so let me just make a summary of what she have read. Okay, it's quite long. So Brunei Malays were fishermen until now. Okay. Mostly Brunei Malays, even the Malays from Malaysia, most of them are Malays. Even from the south of the Philippines, mostly are fishermen also. My grandfather was also a fisherman. Okay, so in which place where you can find the water village? Anyone? Anyone can tell me? In Kampung Ayer, right? So class people in ancient times, they were not living in a big house as in an apartment. They were living near to the river. They were living near to Kampung Ayer because that's the easiest way how to catch fishes, right? They were not eating every day chicken nuggets or burger. No, they were not eating that. Were always eating fishes. That's why people, the people in ancient times, they were healthier. But nowadays we eat a lot of junk foods, fried foods, you know, chips, etc. Right? Unfortunately. Okay, so way back they also have this traditional clothing weaving. Okay, what is it called? It's well known and famous. is the jong sarat. Have you seen this kind of cloth, class? Sometimes if you see this, what do you call this? If you see this dancing traditional, I don't know if you have been to an event. Usually they do some dance and then they're wearing this traditional cloth, the jong sarat. Okay, so for the culture class, most Brunei Malays are ethnically Malays, and then they are following Islam, or they are Muslims. Okay, Alhamdulillah. And then of course, every Brunei Malays, they have different languages also. Okay, and this is very important. The last paragraph, for example, respecting of elders. So we have tuwa, we have tanga, and bungso, right? I don't know if you have tried the soto of Haji Tua. Have you have you tried? No. So because you're not fan of that kind of traditional food. Maybe you're more into fast food, huh? Like KFC, McDonald's, Jollibee. Maybe. Okay. I'm just assuming. Okay. I'm not telling everyone likes. I also like fast food, but not always. Okay. Let's move on to. Okay, class. We have 10 minutes, so anytime by now it will turn off. Okay. Okay. Okay, class. I cannot find page 39. Okay. I don't have the page. I forgot to take a photo of it. So what I want, who has the book here? I want someone to read it. Let us give chance to. Okay, Norina. Norina is here. Okay, Norina, I want you to read page 39, the Kadayans. Come on.
The Kedayans. Traditionally, the Kedayans used to settle in the Brunei Mara district and they developed a language of their own. In the past, they were mainly paddy farmers and fishermen. They had a reputation for knowledge of medicinal plants, which they would use to treat many illnesses and to make tonics.
All right. Okay, let's stop there. Let's stop there, Norina. Thank you very much. Okay. So, Kadayans are also one of the ethnic groups. So basically, they also live in Brunei Muara. They develop their own language. Okay. I don't know if you heard Kadayan language. They're also paddy farmers and fishermen. And then they are known for making medicinal plants. You know, class, what is medicinal plants? Do you have any idea? So class, in ancient times, there's no such kind of pills, obat, or injection. No, they didn't have that before. They only have herbs. They're using medicinal plants. This is very important. This is science. Okay? So when you have sickness, they use these leaves they take from the jungle and then they boil it, or sometimes they put a patch. I experienced when I was small because my grandmother, she is quite knowledgeable with medicinal plants. So when I had like a broken, not really broken, when I was feeling pain on my arm, she put a big patches of leaves on my arm. So I don't know if you have experienced that one, but it was pretty effective. Okay, so let us move on to the next picture here. Let me just read it fastly. Okay, so we have in the past, the Kadayan village, the houses were built in the center with fields surrounding. So basically, Kadayans are good farmers, okay? So usually they live around the farm, okay? So it means Kadayans, they own most of the rice, okay? Let us move on to the culture. The culture. The Kadayans have a traditional festival called Makan Taun. Okay, class, I hope you're looking at your books or looking at the screen. It is a ceremony to celebrate good harvest and to build strong relationships in the village. Special food and gifts will be prepared for guests, and traditional games such as perlawanan gasing or top spinning, sorry, competitions were held among the community. So class, this was the Beyblade of the people in ancient times. So the Beyblade was named Perlawan Gasing or top spinning. So personally, when I was a kid, I experienced this one when I was small in the Philippines. We also have this. We call it in Philippine language trumpo. I don't know, maybe it's coming from Spanish, trumpo. But in Malay, it's called Perlawan Gasik. Okay, hold on, let me turn on my light. Okay, class, I think we have 8 minutes before the session will end. Okay, let me ask quickly, Jamal. Okay, Jamal, can you please read the next page on page 40 about the muruts? Yes, Jamal.
This letter C, teacher.
Yes, please.
The majority of Moors live in the Timborang district. In the past, they used to cultivate paddy and tapioca.
Correct, correct.
Then the culture. The Mart men wear colorful headgear called cigar as well as vests made from tree bark. Women wear black costume decorated with colorful beads.
Okay, black costumes. Okay, black costumes. Okay. Okay, thank you, Jamal, for reading that aloud. So Muruts also is one of the ethnic groups. So basically, they live in Temburong district. Okay, they used to cultivate paddy and tapioca. If you don't know what's paddy and tapioca, those are kinds of vegetables. Okay, those are vegetables. I'm not also familiar what is paddy and tapioca, but they're vegetables for eating. Okay, because in the ancient times, not they don't always eat rice every day. Sometimes they have to eat other vegetables also. So the culture Murut men wear this colorful headgear. You know what's headgear? So in PUBG, if you're playing PUBG, you have this helmet, right? If you level up, okay, especially the boys, they use this headgear, okay? So it could be any helmet or something. So for the girls, you're wearing tudungan, we call that headgear. Okay, because you're wearing on the head, right? You're not wearing on your ear or on your face. Okay, so it's called cigar. Okay, not the cigarette. It's called cigar. Okay, and women also wear the black costumes with colorful beads. Okay, let's go on to tutongs. Okay, I think tutongs is the most interesting one. Why? Because it's very interesting because I always see this in their weddings. So far, the tutongs are very, what do you call this? They're very, what do you call this? They always follow their tradition. Okay, let me ask, let me give others chance. Okay, Izol, come on, Izol. I want to hear your voice. The tutongs.
The Tutongs. The Tutong people live mostly in the Tutong district. They have their own language. In the Basukaki ceremony, the married couple feet are placed on top of a sharpening stone and machete.
Machete, yes,
Water
correct.
is the Water is then poured on their feet to bless them with good luck and well wishes. The
Okay.
culture. In the Tutong, there is a special traditional wedding ceremony called the Basukaki. This is a feet washing ceremony held for the newlywed couple where the members of both families pour water on the feet of the bride and the groom and then bless them with money, gifts, and well wishes.
All right. Okay. You see, this is very interesting class. Kamu pernah ka, Sudani? Have you seen this personally? Okay, nod your head if you've seen this. Okay, ako ay pernah. You know where I saw this one? I saw this in the wedding of Chigo Fakria Fasiha. You know, your MIB teacher. Actually, Chigo Fasiha, I think she's from Tutong. So you can ask her when you meet her, teacher, mana ka, kamu buat basukaki ka in your kamu punya wedding. Okay. So in the Philippines, in my kampong, we do it differently. I don't laugh, huh? You might be laughing. In my traditional kampong, when the couples are newlywed, when they're walking, the people will be throwing beras. They will be throwing rice over them. Imagine that. Have you seen something like that? So in order the beras will not come to their faces, to their clothes, sakit to. Orang ano ba? What do you call this? Kan buang beras arakaw ba? Sakit to. Yang balong masak ba? Karas to. Why are you laughing, Akila? Nah, they use payung. They buka payung supaya yang beras indah arak kebuka. Because banyak orang tu buang beras. Oh, macam celebration ba? Yay! Okay. But I know it's wasting, haram. But unfortunately, that's culture, okay? Why are you laughing at orang buang beras, ha? Okay. Let me move on to okay, we only have 2 minutes. Okay, what page is next? Page 41. Okay. Dusun, right? Okay, I hear this a lot. Dusuns, okay. Who can read quickly here? Okay, I think Rizan can read it quickly. Okay, Rizan, come on. Dusuns, come on.